Welcome to Oz Fury Gaming, guys. Today we're going to be looking through the constellation Andromeda. This ship is produced by RSI or Robert Space Industries. Now this ship is a very good ship. If you have a crew of 4 to 6, I would highly recommend it. It has quite a lot of firepower, 2 turrets, one top and bottom of the main cockpit, running size 2 guns. They are a repeater, so that makes them a, a ballistic gun. Had a mind blank for a second. And also too, for the pilot, he'll be able to deal with some size 4 laser cannons, M6A laser cannon there. So they sit on a size 5 gimbal, even though it doesn't show it there. When you come up to here, if we get in the right spot, see it shows the cannon and it shows that gimbal. So on the back here, we have our coolers. So when we get back there again, you will see they're a size 2 cooler. In the mid of the ship, we have 2 size 2 power plants running this bad boy. And then on the sort of more the aft of the ship, you can see we are running this. So there's 2 aside by 6 doubled up of these size 1 ordnance missiles. So that makes 24 size 1 missiles. And then in the front here, when we get a better look, there is 6, 12, 18 and 24 size 2 ordnances as well. So this ship is well armed. This is the Andromeda, as I said before. So this is sort of the medium ship, the all-rounder, the well-rounded ball. Now what makes this ship great? Well, it's got a large cargo hold which can easily fund medium-sized cargo hauls, and has good plating for its armor. Has great visual from the front of the ship, so you can easily see targets, and is very slim profile. What I mean by that is, minus those sort of engines on the top there, the ship is very sleek and very minimalized, so there's no extra parts just sticking out for no reason. And I'm referring to sort of more like a caterpillar type ship where you've got a lot of parts sort of sticking all over the place. So as we can see here, the cargo bay doors do open up. This is on the 2.6 alpha server, and it drops down. Now as we can see, there's plenty of space, so this is where your main cargo will be. Now, advantage I like about this ship is you don't actually need to walk through the cargo hold like a lot of other ships that are smaller. You have to. So this means that it allows for more flexible use with your cargo, and you can carry out bulkier items. So you can carry ATVs as well as dragonflies if you don't feel like running cargo and you want to actually do some more fighting. So we'll close up these cargo doors and we'll jump on. If it's going to let us. No, I didn't catch it. Oh well. We'll go through the other elevator. So this is your elevator you're supposed to use to get up and down into this bad boy of a ship. So this becomes that airlock, that little section there, and that drops right down and we hop on. So this will be our airlock, depressurize, that's our floor, and then it closes back over the top. So we're sort of in the crew quarters at the moment. We have our 4 beds to a side with a little lounging area, some storage space, our actual lockers with a gun rack. This is the sort of the size ship where you start seeing weapon racks throughout it. So we'll head to section A. We're in section B at the moment. This is our cockpit, flight deck, whatever we want to call it. So this is our 2 turrets. To simply use them, you just got to look at them either up or down, and it will allow us, if I get into the right spot, to use them. Alright. So here he comes. We just take a casual seating, drops us down, and it'll do a 180. So we're down in the ship here. So obviously this would be a full 360-degree turret. My only drawback is I'm curious to know how strong these turrets will be. For example, if you're going to have collision models, you'd expect that if this turret got hit hard enough, it'd actually fly off, which then begs the question, will this then close up? Will this airlock close up, or what's going to happen there? Then also too, if it does get hit, how much of a beating can it take? So we'll jump out of this turret and we'll start looking at the rest of this ship. We're not going to bother looking at the top turret because it's just basically the same thing. So one thing I like about this ship is it feels fairly industrial. You can see this, pipe laying across or cable. And everything's sort of rough and just made to do. There's no plating over the pipe work. There's nothing smooth about the ship. So we have our co-pilot seat either side of our pilot. So we'll sit in the pilot seat first. Now this little blue orb is there to basically to just be there for your actual control. So it's not actually meant to be like this. As you'll see when we come as the pilot, it'll disappear. There we go. So instantly the first thing that I like about this ship, the heads-up display is amazing. For a piloting ship, I just absolutely love it. We have a big speed control in the front there with our guns right in view. A lot of ships, especially the smaller ships like the Saber Comet that I've put up, you'll see that it's actually really hard to see the gun display when you're flying because it's right down at the bottom, sort of near the crotch area. It makes it a bit challenging. So on this side we have a different targeting system. So the target name, the range and all that sort of business that goes along with it. We have our target picture to the right, and to our left we have our own ship. The hull integrity of, so despite the integrity of our ship being shown, we also have our shield display showing the actual surrounding of the ship as well as the percentage of our shields, our power and throttle, and what's getting used. And up in the top right hand corner we have our emissions and our infrared readouts and the ambient temperatures that they come at. So this will be very useful to see what sort of missiles will be locking onto us and how hot we'll be. So we'll go for a test flight after this, guys, but first let's go have a look at the rest of this ship. So this is our cargo deck. So here we have our ordnances, our missile racks. We can also control our deck from the loading ramp from here, our cargo bay. Then we move from section C to section D. There's not much in the back here. We have our power plant and our gravity generator. All electricals and sort of business in the back. But this is where you get into your Merlin. Now, I'm not sure if you guys have done any research on the Constellation, but the Merlin comes part of the ship, and it is actually on the back of the ship. So it's a snub fighter, so the whole idea of it is you come up, you get attacked, you jump into this, power it up, close the top door, and then you basically bust out and you go and have a bit of a fight. That's another thing about this ship that I really like, is the strength that it does have as a very versatile ship. So despite the multifunction ship that is the Andromeda, there's also a transport ship and a luxury version of the ship, as well as an exploration version. Quite a different viewing of the ship depending on what you want to do. Personally, I bought the Andromeda just because I like the multi-purpose of it. I feel like it'll do everything I want. Mainly I want to use it as cargo, but if I ever did want it to be more flexible, say as if I wanted to have a bit of a... It could possibly be like a light frigate, this ship. Being the size of it and the guns it has and the ordnance, I feel like this ship has some great potential. So without a further ado, guys, we'll hop back in this pilot seat, break this bad boy out into some space, and we'll do a bit of fighting in our electronic access simulator. Alright guys, so here we are.
Swarm initiated. Warning, there are multiple hostiles inbound.
So Aurora one's over here. So as you can see, our size 4 turrets are actually on gimbal mounts. None of them are hard mounted, which I love. Makes them very easy to hit targets. So as you can see, these things actually do quite some damage, these size 4 guns. So as you can see here, the one thing that does lack is the old rolling. It's not very good at rolling.
Boom. So as you can see, guys, these guns do give pirates a hard time. So we can see here the start, but we can see our shields taking a beating. Like, we're getting hit by gladiuses here. Fire missile, damn it. So guys, after a bit of fighting, let's have a think about where this Andromeda sits in the whole scheme of things. It's a highly versatile ship with some excellent weaponry, some excellent shielding, and a lot of flexibility when it comes to multiple roles. But at the end of the day, this is a working ship. It's not luxury, it's not a play ship, it's not a racing ship. So what do you want to do with it? Well, from what Chris Roberts has said, and I'll be saying this a few times in multiple different videos, the contracts to pay us will start off small and we'll have to work our way up. So depending what you want to do, if you want to run it as a frigate, if you want to run it as a cargo hauler, if you want to run it as anything else, then you've got to look at how you're going to pay for it. So being a larger ship, like I said, you want to have at least probably 4 people running it. So one to run the snub, a pilot, co-pilot, and at least 1 gunner. You can probably lose a co-pilot for another gunner, seeing as the heads-up display is so excellent, and being that there's only 4 beds. But you could run up to, well, yeah, 6 people. So with that being said, how do you plan to not just pay for the ship's repairs, but then you got to pay for your crew's costs? Because obviously they don't want to be working for nothing unless you've actually, you're all in it together sort of thing. All for one, one for all. So the Constellation probably isn't the best starting ship. I would probably recommend maybe a Cutlass or the Avenger if you wanted just a single person ship. Personally, I think an Avenger is a great runaround ship, especially if you're going between planets. You can just pick up a bit of cargo, go there, dump it off, make a little bit of coin, and keep moving on through your travels. But I feel the Andromeda would make an excellent ship for once you start hitting those medium-sized to large-sized contracts. Especially if you can get 2 fighters that go with an Andromeda, and for them to sort of try and draw the heat. I feel like those size 4 guns, and especially with the ordnances, would be very good at taking out medium ships and other ships similar to the Constellation size, just as long as the shields can be regenerated. I feel that they have taken a long time to regenerate and are very quick to melt away. Obviously this can be fixed with upgraded power plant and shield generating, but that's not in the game at the moment. Alright guys, so for a quick wrap up, we'll talk, basically this Andromeda is a perfect medium-sized ship. It has a real niche of being well-rounded and fitting perfectly for a lot of different jobs. Now, obviously it isn't the weapons platform of the Cutlass, but it has a cargo capacity that I think outweighs that. For running cost makes it exceptional in its well-roundedness. I wouldn't try and run it as a beginner's ship, but there's plenty to upgrade and there's plenty of space to really make some good use of the weaponry. Obviously the power plant and the shield generator would need to be upgraded, but like everything, nothing's perfect from brand new, and nothing is ever perfect from then onwards. So hopefully you got something out of this, guys. If you're thinking about buying it, I would recommend it. If not, just wait until the game comes out and we can start buying these in game. But I feel like this would be a little bit more of a grind to get to than a lot of other ships. So until next time, guys, thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you later.